The community has been non-stop talking about whether Pikachu or Pichu is better, Pikachu being very hype and very well thought of after the original E3 demo, and Pichu once the game came out is looking like an absolute menace. There are pros and cons to both characters, and since I am the Pikachu expert and I do know a decent amount about Pikachu, I am here to kind of explain their advantages over one another, their disadvantages over one another, and who I think is ultimately better, although if you watch my top 10 video you should already know that. First off, I'm going to go over the pros of both characters that they share between one another, which is the fact that they are both very fast, they both have incredible aerials, and the fact that they are both really short, and this is important for multiple reasons because it makes it a little bit easier to play defensive since they can both kind of dash out of people's ranges and back in and get punishes. You know, they're short, so a lot of people are going to have to do very typical landing aerials at similar timings, otherwise they're just going to whiff both of the characters, so it's easier to either, again, dash out because you know exactly when they're going to aerial, or you can just parry because they don't really have variants of when they can do their landing aerial because the characters are so short. Both have an incredible offstage game, probably number 1 and number 3 respectively between Pikachu and Pichu, because they both have a spiking dare, they both have multi-hits, they both have thunder, they both have thunder spikes, down air spike, you know, the ability to stage spike people, the ability to drag down with their multi-hit aerials. It is just a really good time for both of them, and they can cover high and low due to thunder. Both have fairly lackluster range, and so it is somewhat difficult to get around characters like sword characters if they are just if you're trying to one-for-one trade with them in the air. However, their speed and their height can typically get around it, or you can just play defensive against those characters since you both have projectiles. And now let's start getting into some differences, and first I'm going to go over the positives that Pichu has over Pikachu. Pichu's moves send a lot more vertically than Pikachu's move, which send a little bit more horizontally, therefore it is a bit easier to combo with Pichu. You have things like down tilt and up tilt, which can lead into up airs, and up air sends almost directly above you, so it's very easy to link up air after up air and then into a finishing back air, and his back air does so much damage. I think down throw, up air, back air does like 30% for Pichu, which is absolutely ridiculous. Pichu has in general more kill moves than Pikachu, or at the very least they kill even earlier because you have his forward tilt, which is frame 5 or something, and can kill at the ledge at like 115 or 120 against most characters. Forward smash is stronger. You have thunder, which is stronger and always sends to the front. Actually, I don't know if it's stronger, but it does always send in front of him, so it is easier to specifically like angle yourself towards specific blast zones, since you can always just turn around your thunder. His back air is stronger and his down smash is stronger, so if you get the particular positions where you can just hit people and drag them towards the blast zone, or if you get like a down smash at the edge of the stage facing forwards, it will kill earlier than Pikachu's. Pichu is also a little bit faster on the ground and has a better roll cancel grab, so he's able to get very quick burst distances a little bit easier, and his grab is so good because of the fact that you can just down throw up air always, you can down throw nair, you can even landing nair into grab into combos, so Pichu has a lot of damage and his advantage state is absolutely amazing, although so is Pikachu, so I'm not really going to say that his advantage state is overall better than Pika's due to the fact that Pikachu has some other stuff that I'll talk about in a little bit. Now for what Pikachu has over Pichu. I do think that in the majority of matchups, Pikachu's Nair is better because drag down into grab, drag down into up tilt is an amazing tool, and you get a lot of combo loops off of that are significantly easier than the Pichu variant, because Pikachu's is like just Nair, up tilt, drag down Nair, up tilt, drag down Nair, up tilt for about 50 or 60%, whereas Pichu's is like up tilt or up air, full hop, back air, fast fall in like this really specific timing, and if you mess up the timing, then you're not going to really get any of the more follow-ups, and it's just pretty difficult in general, and it hurts Pichu. So Pikachu's is a little bit easier to land because you can get it off of a grab and off of a an up tilt at or just landing Nair. And overall, I would say that Pikachu has slightly better normals in terms of neutral, because short hop forward air auto cancels, short hop back air auto cancels, and a lot of Pichu's moves don't. So Pichu kind of has to hard commit to an option, you know, or he's going to short hop dare you because like Nair isn't safe on shield, down air can be safe on shield if you space it, but like due to his lack of range, he can't really like safely poke at someone's shield and then drift back because all of his moves will have landing lag if you short hop forward air or back air. So he's gonna have to play a slightly different game than Pikachu. So Pikachu's neutral overall, I would say, is a bit stronger, especially considering the fact that you obviously do not hurt yourself as Pikachu. So if you use Thunder Jolts as a lead-in, Pikachu will not hurt himself. And in my opinion, the biggest advantage that Pikachu has over Pichu is the fact that Pikachu's up B quick attack has a hitbox, while Pichu's up B agility does not. This is important for multiple reasons, mostly being the fact that 1, you can use it in neutral and advantage state. If someone is drifting away from you and you cannot reach them as like your body, like you can't forward air them, you can't up air them, Pikachu now has a burst option in terms of quick attack that can follow up, that can chase people, and you can get bigger damage and a better general advantage state. Not only that, but it can lead to longer edge guards because a lot of the time if characters recover high, Pikachu can then quick attack back on stage, hit them, and then continue the combo or push them back off stage for, again, a better advantage state in that situation. Also, it makes Pikachu a lot harder to ledge trap assuming that you're not a character with a counter because Pikachu can zip through you with his up B and get back on stage if Pikachu is in pressure, whereas Pichu, yes, it goes farther, but you can just throw out a hitbox and you will always beat it, and you will never even trade. You don't have to shield. You can just kind of sit there outside of ledge hop forward air range and react to whatever Pichu is doing, but you can't do that with Pikachu just because of the fact that it has a hitbox, and if you're too slow, now you're going to be the one that's getting hit and you're going to be the one that's getting comboed. Pikachu also obviously has more range than Pichu considering Pichu is a slightly bigger character, and this is a big deal because it is again a little bit easier to play neutral as Pikachu. Your down tilt is going to be better at covering space, your forward air, your back air, your up air, all those moves are going to be a little bit easier to hit because you don't have to be right in someone's face, and because Pichu is so light, being in people's faces if you guess wrong is going to cause a lot of damage and a large percentage of your stock, which is going to be obviously bad considering Pichu dies at 60 to 70% against certain characters. Obviously they both have their advantages, and now let's talk about the bigger disadvantages of the characters that, you know, to me, in my opinion, kind of shape which character is better. But before I get into the disadvantages of the characters, I do want to remind you guys to, if you enjoy the content, please hit the thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel. It would mean a lot to me. You know, as of recording this, I'm getting very close to 100,000 subscribers, and that would mean the world to me for me to get there, so just please consider it, and I very much appreciate it. Pichu, while having a better direct combo game, in my opinion, has a slightly worse disadvantage state, a slightly worse neutral, and the fact that he dies so much earlier is going to be a huge hindrance for him in terms of being a consistent character, because it doesn't matter sometimes how good you're playing. You got hit once, now you're at death percent because they did a 40 to 45% combo, and then you get like charge S-Smash because you tried to commit into something and now you die. Pikachu, while in my opinion a bit more consistent of a character, does have his flaws because he's not nearly as explosive as Pichu. Pichu overall does way more damage and kills much earlier than Pikachu, and even has more jab lock setups similar to Smash 4, and because Pichu's F-Smash is so much stronger, it will kill much earlier than Pikachu's jab lock setups. And I feel like another thing that is a bit obvious, but I feel like is important to mention, is that Pikachu does not hurt himself like Pichu does. So Pikachu is able to actually play defensively to the point of camping with Thunder Jolts, whereas Pichu cannot, because although Pichu's Thunder Jolts do more damage, it will solely deal damage to himself, and so if people just avoid them or just shield all of them, you know, Pichu is going to be putting himself in a worse and worse and worse position, which is really bad considering how early he dies and the fact that he's going to struggle to get in general, although it can, you know, sometimes lead him out of kill confirm percent, such as, you know, Inkling up throw up air. So overall, my opinion comes down to the fact that Pikachu is a bit more of a consistent character, whereas Pichu is going to be a bit more explosive and a bit more fiery, because while I think that Pichu's combos are better, I do feel like Pikachu's overall slow and steady advantage state is better, and Pikachu's defensive play is a bit better, but when Pichu does get in, it is frightening. It does so much damage, he can kill so early, so you never really feel safe against Pichu, whereas you generally can feel safe against Pikachu unless you are off stage, because he will do a lot of damage to you, but he won't necessarily kill you like Pichu will. And at high level play, consistency is incredibly important. It is one of the reasons why Diddy Kong and why Sheik were such amazing characters. It's why Cloud, you know, even though he was considered the second best character in the game, barely won any majors comparatively, because in Smash 4, Cloud was an inconsistent character due to the fact that you could just hit him off stage, and the only real good, consistent Clouds were Komori, Kiri, and Tweak, who somewhat played defensively. And so because I value consistency so much in terms of Smash Brothers, because if you're having like an off day, Pikachu will be better than Pichu due to the fact that you just won't get stuffed out, and you have to be spacing perfectly as Pichu, and you have to be getting all these combos, because if you drop a specific scenario or you drop your advantage state, Pichu has a lot more trouble getting in as opposed to Pikachu, and he can't play defensive at all. So I think that Pichu is going to have overall slightly worse matchups, but also slightly better matchups in different kind of ways. Like, he will have more bad matchups or more matchups that wall him out. Think Olimar, think even like a zoner character or like sword characters like Marth, Lucina, whereas Pikachu may not destroy some characters that Pichu does, but overall will lose a lot less matchups because of the fact that you have quick attack as an approach option, you have your general better spacing aerials, and just more consistent damage and hitboxes, and you're not going to die quite as early as Pichu does, and he can play defensive in a lot of matchups that he doesn't like. And so overall, I do think Pikachu is a slightly better choice at top level. I do think Pikachu is easily a top 5 character, but Pichu is also a top 10 character, so it's not like you're going to be playing a mid tier or a high tier like I even said in in my first video about Pikachu, I think Pichu is an amazing top 10 character with so many good tools, but I do think Pikachu's consistency is what puts him above Pichu, and so that is my overall opinion on the characters. And one thing I do want to note is this opinion is at top level, because at lower levels I feel like Pichu is a bit easier due to the fact that he has more spammable kill moves, he's just like a little bit faster, and people are going to be worse at reacting at lower to mid levels. So Pikachu is only really good at high to top level due to the fact that he has so many intricacies that I understand innately because I've just been playing the character for 10 years, but Pichu is a little bit easier, just a little bit more of a direct combo game, and yeah, you will get stuffed out because you don't understand how to approach 100%, but also people at lower levels are worse at playing defensively, so you will still get your openings anyway. And yeah, that is going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, social media, Panda, and partner stuff is down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye!